welcome to the transparency. We're gonna let y'all pop in here for a breaking news quick update and then some. Again, hello to all the members, moderators, subscribers, lurkers. Do me a favor, at some point you're gonna have an opinion on this live, and simply thumbs it up or thumbs it down. Again, you have an opinion, make yourself known. I will never tell you to like something that you don't like. So again, welcome. This is a Delphi breaking news update. We have a trial date. We have a trial date set in the Delphi case, which is May 13th, 2024. So there it is. We also have an ex parte letter that was written from Fig Solves Gary to Judge Gull, and we're going to get to that first. We also have a witness list that we are going to talk about. We are going to drop for you guys, courtesy of Miss Bella over here. Let's take a look.
Hi, guys. How's everyone
doing? First, let's say hi to Bella over here, right? What's up, girl? Educate, advocate, vote, bitches.
How's everyone doing on Monday? Monday.
Today's Monday? Didn't even know.
Can't be Friday every day.
Every day is Friday for me.
Every day.
Every day. Fuck everything.
Whatever.
Take a look at it. Boom!
So this was just filed today. If you guys were with us yesterday, you'll know what this is in reference to. The defense had put out, and if you don't, after we're done here, maybe go back and watch the video that we did yesterday, the live.
It was a quick one.
Yeah.
It was tits. Everything that we do is tits, though. So let's talk about it here. Ex parte communication, and Fig Solves wanted to write Judge Gull and say, yo, bro, Honorable Judge Gull, we got something to say.
Well, Fig was named, right?
Yeah,
by the
Fig
defense.
was named. Fig was named by the defense. And let's see what Fig had to say. Dear Honorable Judge Gull, my name is Gary Busey. Just kidding. Wouldn't you all die if it was Gary Busey, though, behind that name? Come on now. That was funny. A resident of California. Cali raise up. So I bet you they're a huge Tupac fan. You think Gary's a big Tupac fan? You think he rides out to Tupac?
I don't know. I mean, you can take a wager on it. I don't know.
You know, if he's big ear Tupac, he's probably definitely Snoop Dogg.
Depends, I guess, what part of Cali.
Cali's
big.
I know, Cali's huge. All right, so anyways, he and a small business owner. I'm writing concerning the ongoing proceedings in the above reference case.
And that case is the state of Indiana versus Richard Allen. So obviously the Delphi.
That's right. I've been falsely implicated by the defense, and I wish to clarify my stance and present the truth.
Can we just show this real quick before we read any more of this to explain, to give everybody a little bit of what happened yesterday, and just get into this right here of where one of the exhibits and the additional. So the defense has already put in a list of witnesses, and this was put in, on the 7th of this month. And it's just saying it's actually a bomb ass list. If you want the whole thing, just go watch the live from yesterday that we did. But as you see here, number 1, communications between Gary
Busey, yeah.
Gary Boudet, aka Fig, aka Fig Solves, and prosecutor McLelland, and it says multiple, okay? And it goes on, Fig is named throughout.
Yeah, we talked about that heavily yesterday. So
that's what this is talking about.
Yeah, so this is Fig's response to that. And here we go. So if you want to pick up reading right here, I'll let you go ahead and do it. I must unequivocally
state that I was not involved in any strategy to disseminate crime scene photos. Allegations suggesting my involvement are not only unfounded, but are a clear diversionary tactic by the defense. It is imperative to highlight that there has been acknowledgement from the defense side that the leaks of crime scene photos originated within their team. This campaign To associate me with these leaks is not just baseless, but maliciously intended to divert attention from their own admitted responsibility.
I have something to say. So basically, since he's responding on his own, do you think that he has a lawyer? Because my guess is no.
Well, I think at this juncture, and if you're smart, I don't know Fig very well. If you're smart, you would probably put in your own filing for this. And then if it goes further and things aren't solved, you would get an attorney involved.
I wouldn't say shit. Based on my experiences, I wouldn't say a fucking word.
Okay. Well, okay. So yeah, he did this himself, you guys.
So we're going to go that
the notion that I would engage in such deplorable tactics is not only false, but deeply offensive. These allegations against me are a gross misrepresentation.
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. I don't know what I just did. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to be creative and I just fucked it down.
Don't.
Oh, I know, honey.
I hate that.
Okay, sorry. There we go. Back at it.
These allegations against me are a gross misrepresentation and an attempt to manipulate the narrative away from the factual origin of the leaks. To be clear, I maintain no inside connections or sources involved in this case, including but not limited to the prosecutor, law enforcement officials, or any personnel at the court, such as the Honorable Judge Gull. Additionally, I affirm that I have never attempted to undermine the legal process in any capacity. I wish to address specific points, and here he goes to point out a couple things. I indeed. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys remember everything that I've been saying to you guys about the leaks as soon as I was able to speak on them? That the people who were given the crime scene photos contacted law enforcement and were told by law enforcement to just delete it. No one said, where did these emails come from? Who sent you these photos? No one wanted to investigate it. Here's more proof of everything I'm saying. I indeed contacted prosecutor Nick McClelland upon receiving unsolicited crime scene photos, adhering to legal and ethical standards. Following his advice, I deleted these photos. This action was out of respect for the legal process and in no way indicates collusion with the prosecution. So once again, okay, we'll get to that later, I guess. Basically 2. The claims suggesting that I have conspired with law enforcement are unfounded. My online interactions, especially those on YouTube, have been misinterpreted by individuals who have targeted me due to my support for the Indiana prosecutor, law enforcement, and the Honorable Judge Gull.
If he says Honorable Judge Gull one more time in this letter, I'm going to have to make it a drinking game.
I think it's the last time. I have solely expressed my personal opinions.
Hold on 1 second there. I'm going to do something here.
I'll start the sentence over for continuity purposes. With your creative ass.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so creative. Okay, so there we go.
Okay. I have solely expressed my personal opinions and categorically deny any involvement in misconduct. And as third point, the allegations regarding my interactions with certain individuals online have been significantly misrepresented and possibly altered. You guys, altered.
Again, wait, so hold on. He's basically saying one more time here that I wish to clarify that any of my actions which have been incorrectly interpreted as factual by witnesses are actually misrepresentations of the true circumstances.
We haven't gotten there yet, but yes.
Of the allegations regarding my interactions with certain individuals online have been significantly misrepresented and possibly altered. Okay.
By the accusers and their associates. And he's going to get into that in the next paragraph and, or actually in the latter, what you'll see here. So as Lana just read, he goes on to say he wants to clarify that. In reality, many of my online comments were made in defense against unwarranted harassment directed at me. And we do know that Delphi is a weird place on YouTube. So These responses were never intended to influence the proceedings of the case or mislead any parties involved. They originated from a necessity to defend myself against unfounded accusations, rather than from any intention to alter or impact the legal process. Now, below is a link to a Google Drive folder.
Stop it. I'm going to need you to stop right there. This motherfucker provided a Google Drive.
And there's more. He says there's more coming. No, this is where the bomb happens here for him. And this is where, again, the crap show in what is supposed to be justice for Abby and Libby, because people insert themselves in awkward ways.
Hold on. He provided a Google Drive.
Oh, you'll see what's in that.
Do you think the Google Drive was password protected, or do you think he just gave Gull the link to just do whatever she wanted with it and share it with whoever?
I think at this point, everything is out on the table.
Okay.
So it's like, just have at it. I don't know. Below is a link to a Google Drive folder compiled to document the behaviors of certain individuals mentioned in the witness list. He's going for the defenses.
Hold on. We're going to talk about this witness list. That could be the witness list that was the additional
I think it's the additional witness list.
Or it could also be there's another witness list.
The leaked one that I have, which displays their physical threats, their willingness to alter or create communications and pass them off as authentic. And it will become obvious what the truth is, that many of those individuals who claim to be witnesses actually were in communication with the defense. The evidence is provided. I am prepared to provide further evidence and clarification as needed. I will be continuously updating the folder with more and more proof as time permits. I respect the court's authority and the seriousness of these proceedings. I wish to express my concerns regarding unsubstantiated accusations made by the defense and kindly request the court's assistance in addressing these matters to ensure a fair and just process.
Okay, let's back on up here.
He's asking for like Gull and Nick to step in and help him.
Well, he is basically saying, how my name got thrown into this. Okay, great, but it's completely being misrepresented. Okay, that's the gist of this, is that I'm going to provide you with a Google Drive that basically he worked on all weekend with his paralegal here friend to come up with the letter. And
which paralegal friend?
I don't know. I'm just saying that. But
now the defense has gone on record, as we saw yesterday, and said how many correspondences and what they have found.
Let me see this really quick. There was 20. They were misnumbered, so pardon David Hennessy's mistakes there, but there's actually 27. I found that there was a misnumber. So there's plenty of sightings here with Gary Busey, aka
just
Fig,
call him Fig,
aka Fig Solve. Which I already hashtagged this program wrong. It's Fig Solve, just SOLV. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I change that.
Is it not S at the end?
No, no, that's not how. That's not how Hennessy has it either.
That's how much
but
we watch him.
Let's talk about something. Let's bring out this list.
What, the original list or that list?
No, let's bring out the leaked list.
Okay,
we have a leaked list that we want to show you guys.
The leaked list. This is not what he's talking about there. What he's talking about there is these came from the depositions about a week and a half ago of the 4 people, and Mitch Westerberg being one of them. Okay, and
Westerberg,
Westerberg,
we have a Isaac Thunderberg, so I think she just mixed that right.
My brain just misfired.
So what are we gonna look at here? Let's take a look.
So I will not share the 3rd page.
Okay, we don't have to share the 3rd page, but here we go.
So this is
list of exhibits.
This was filed in September. And
again, hello to everybody. Just want to give a shout out really quick to somebody that we just had a baby with over here. Deborah, 10-month member. She had her baby last month. She is looking fabulous. Baby's great. Mom's great. Good. Everybody's doing well over there.
The little TNT baby.
Deborah, just want to say kudos to our little TNT baby. I'm going to start passing out onesies to those
pacifiers.
To those that become, little tit pacifiers.
Like once you get past the 9
Sucking
months.
on my titties like you wanted it. What's that from? That's from a song.
Teaches of Peaches.
Yeah, Teaches of Peaches. Yeah.
And it says F the Pain Away
F
is
the
the
pain
song.
away.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look. Certified mail receipt. So Todd Click letter. We got Todd Click affidavit. Todd Click. Then we got some confidentials, okay? So that's the crime scene photos. Now, 17 is DNA documentation, okay? 18, confidential photo of the FFF, okay? Confidential bullet, 1, 2, 3. Photo of cell phone under Abby's leg. Photo of shoe under Abby's leg. Graph showing depth of Deer Creek. Leggett's autopsy notes. Confidential photo. Yellow rope tied to tree. Now, wasn't that shown in one of those episodes? The guys, that Steve Wood guy had a picture that showed like the crime scene photo, like the yellow tape.
I'm not sure if he showed the yellow tape photo, but there were some things shown. Yes. Okay. And it was on Ruckus. It was on his live.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Steve was a guest.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah. Odinism website. Brad Holder, tree paintings. That's from his Facebook. All right, so then we got Daniel Bray, sacrifice and sacrificial ideology in Old Norse religion. The Odin report, that's what they dubbed it. Confidential, but it's an interview report, so we don't know what that is. That's going to be interesting to me. Photo of Brad Holder and Patrick Westfall. That's right before the homicides, so 1/21/2017. And again, they never talked after that, remember.
Look at that interview with Westfall. Look at the date of that interview.
Ooh, interview with Westfall. Where do you see that?
The next line.
What number?
39.
39 is confidential report labeled Patrick Westfall interview, 2/19/2017.
So if you guys are aware, the murders happened.
Don't worry, this is blood. This is blood evidence. So we have tons of blood evidence.
Yeah, we were just, reenacting.
Yeah.
Nail polish and blood.
Let's see. Boom. The Google map. Brad Holder Facebook post of hand. Confidential side-by-side photo of Holder's. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at
Page
report
2.
labeled. I'm interested in that report there. See how it says 48?
Uh-huh.
See how it says 2503?
Sure do.
That means it comes way later in this investigation.
Mm-hmm.
See this 2561? Report labeled that. That's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was just right after the murders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at how far back that's being labeled.
Mm-hmm.
How many crime scene photos did they take? Anyways.
I don't know if I'm confusing this with something else, but wasn't there 9,000? Am I getting that wrong?
I don't know. We'll take a look at it, though.
Sheesh.
Again, welcome to the transparency. Just joining us. May 13th is the date of the trial. Now, is that when voir dire is going to start? Is that the date of when the trial has to start? So are they picking the jurors before then? Maybe we'll get clarification on that.
And that's not taking into account if there's any more shenanigans. But yes, it's set for the 13th, which is at the 70 days. I think the 15th, May 15th would have been right at the cutoff. 15th. Right. Correct. So that's 2 days right before the cutoff.
Well, it depends if you count business days or all days.
I think legally it was the 15th, 70.
So
May 15th. So perfect timing for that. And then here we go with page 2. I don't know, I can't see.
Yeah, 60. Let's go down to 48. Okay. Brad Holder, Facebook post.
So obviously this was put in September, and there have been amendments to it. And also,
absolutely, I cannot wait for Elvis Fields to take the stand. Can't wait to hear Elvis Fields talk about his cat.
Hopefully everybody here on out makes it alive, because there's so many deaths occurring.
Yeah, everybody should be good.
Hopefully everybody makes it.
Now, we believe that, okay, so going back to, want to go back to this, right here where he says, I must unequivocally state that I was not involved in any strategy.
Take us back to that,
who's
please,
saying
Ella.
there's a strategy?
Well,
who said that? I'm just asking, who has said that?
Well, listen, that right there that you're holding in your little pretty hands.
All I know is in here, I don't see anybody saying, he's just listing exhibits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no mention that, like, this person did this or that person did that. This is just simply listing exhibits.
Number 15 for example.
Okay, let's take a look at number 15. Posting digging dirt on Baldwin. Okay. It doesn't say anything. Doesn't mean he's in cahoots.
No.
They're just planning on using that as an exhibit.
16. And
I'm just saying, homeboy here, Fig Solves, no idea who you are. I'm gonna call you Gary Busey because I think it's fitting. But I would have never wrote this in a million thousand years after my experiences.
I actually think it was a really good idea to do this, to salvage the little bit of, because look, when this, and I'm being as unbiased as I can, innocent until proven guilty, okay? But when this dropped and I love Baldwin and Rosie, I have a lot of respect for them. So when this drops, I'm going to and also from things I know from people who are deep into Delphi, like whatever. I believe it.
So
okay?
you think that you would have wrote this letter if you were him?
If I was him, I wouldn't.
Gary Busey.
If I was Gary Busey, I wouldn't have done any of the stuff he has done and inserted myself in the way that he has inserted himself. But if I were, as what I know from people that are really credible as to what has happened, I'm very interested to see what Fig is going to produce as.
Okay. Let's go back to this. Fig doesn't have to produce anything though. This is the prosecution has the burden of proof to show X, Y, and Z, which has been deemed, you committed all these things, which is contempt because you went against the gag order, the protective order, that stuff was leaked and things were disseminated, and that's against the protective order. Okay, so it's going to be on the prosecution to show X, Y, and Z. Where Gary Busey, felt the need to write this letter, I'm boggled by it because it's not his burden to say, hey guys, hey Honorable Judge Gull, let me lick your asshole a little bit, Renja. Let me lick you dry and tell you why I feel like I'm being who's misrepresenting you? Oh, the only thing, unless you have stuff that we don't have, all I have is a list of exhibits and what they plan on,
And he's maintaining that some of this stuff is altered.
Yeah, and then we're going to show you some Google Docs because I'm in hell chat with these people.
Basically, yeah, like the Delphi hell chat.
I'm in hell by Discord chat.
Which is Discord. You guys don't do Discord.
With people that are saying, hey guys, I'm gonna make up screenshots and say they're from so-and-so and watch me fuck with this and fuck with that. Who? You guys, I've been saying it. Don't be in no Facebook groups. Don't be in no 3-way, 4-way, 10-way Facebook messages with people. Do not do, what's it called? Discord? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Well, Delphi's big on Discord, and these people they do Discord.
Okay, well, I'm just sitting here telling you that for what? For what? It is literally just town gossip. Like it's like a church. Like, oh my God, did you hear that Susie cheated on Mark in their marriage? And that, oh my God, they're doing swingerish shit. And now they're just banging the pastor. And he's got 13 girlfriends. And they're spreading herpes. That type of shit. Anyways, point being is that I have no idea why this man, unless he knows something that we don't know and he feels some type of way, the defense only said that they have exhibits that they will use to show X, Y, and Z, where he thinks that these exhibits in some type of way falsely, he's being implicated in some right here. I must unequivocally state that I was not involved in any strategy to disseminate crime scene photos. Well, nobody said that you were. Who's saying that? You feel the need, though, to come and I need to state, on the record, X, Y, and Z. Why?
I think because his character is getting assassinated, he's trying to get in front of it.
So his character is getting assassinated in the public.
Yeah.
So he went to the judge of a double homicide.
Yeah.
To say.
Yeah.
So it's a publicity stunt.
Okay, in my opinion, yes. But that's just my opinion. And I'm sorry, but you can't.
This is all I have to say.
I don't think you can collude with Nick.
If you were to talk to any lawyer, I believe that any lawyer worth any damn dollar is going to tell you not to say a fucking word.
Well, what if you have an in? I'm not saying he does. What if you have an in with Nikki and you have an in with Judge?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to remain silent because anything that you say can and will be used against you. That is what every lawyer is going to tell you. So that's why when people say that you think that he talked to a lawyer before he wrote this or a lawyer wrote this for him, absolutely.
You're like, I hope they did. Well, you know who the lawyer was, in my opinion? Nick.
Nick wrote it for him.
No, I think he talked to Nick prior to writing it. I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
Well, again, that's just more communication.
Yeah.
No, any lawyer that's worth literally a damn is not going to have you do any of this. You let that contempt hearing play out, right? Because you literally have no idea just because they're mentioning a couple exhibits that they're going to use. This is insane. This is insane to me that you are almost like telling on yourself in a way, but whatever. It's like somebody took a page out of whose book and wrote a judge.
No, 100%. But would you expect anything else from YouTubers who have inserted themselves?
I think this is absolute fucking wild.
And again, they're saying that
if anybody ever tried to blackmail me, I'd blast their ass publicly.
Well, listen, on this list, again, from yesterday, there's a lot of other YouTubers who are named. There's a lot of people who are respected.
Can I read some more here?
Sure.
So this campaign to associate me with these leaks is not just baseless, but maliciously intended to divert attention from their own admitted responsibility. What was that mumbo jumbo? What are you talking about? You admit in here that you had the crime scene photos. In your letter, you said that you got them and that you contacted the prosecutor because you got the crime. How did you get the crime scene photos? Because I was told they were going for a hot, pretty penny if you wanted the crime scene photos.
Well,
that you had to pay for them.
Certain people were offered it and they were selling them, and that's what I called out Mr. Todd.
I have no problem
Chris Todd. Anybody. So Chris Todd, in my opinion, only was selling.
You would just state all of this stuff when you got called to the stand and answer these questions.
Yeah, but here's the problem. If this
so
is
wait, what is the point of this letter?
So listen, if he's saying right here that it is in keeping with protocol, okay, and he went to the prosecutor. Well,
if
here,
you felt that it was a crime.
Well, it says adhering to legal and ethical standards.
But
he went to the prosecutor.
But he doesn't have legal and ethical standards. He's not. Where does he feel that his what ethical duty to do? What is he considers up? I'm in journalism. I'm going to out my source because that's unethical.
No, but what I'm saying is, this is what I've been saying from the beginning before these documents even came out. I've known about these leaks for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I was told that when you called, you called Nikki, you called law enforcement, and they told you to delete basically the evidence.
Yeah, delete the evidence.
Instead of telling you, okay, we want to get into your computer. We want to find out where this originated from, which is what I would expect if there's a gag, and these are very sensitive.
Okay, for example, let me just throw this out there. Do you know how many people have messaged me, emailed me to send me pictures from allegedly Idaho 4 people's cell phones of these are these people that are dead, and they want to send me these, hey, Leanna, can you look at this? Do you think that this is from what's his name's the guy with the big bushy eyebrows, Shahid? What was his name?
I don't know.
Well, the guy that got over in the Banfield, the cams, look at right here, it's yelling of Kaylee's body and this, that, and the other. And you know how many fucking emails I get daily on just fucking asshats?
Well, can we just go to this?
So I guess I want to understand, this man gets an email. How would anybody know that this person covered Delphi to the point that, okay, I'm going to send this person. I'm going to send this person crime scene photos, right?
Everybody who covered Delphi, just FYI, was sent this.
I did a whole, right before the Idaho 4 case, and my shit was hot as fire when I was covering Delphi. I mean, I go look at those hits. They've been seen by 50,000 people, but I'm saying I was never sent or asked if I wanted Delphi fucking crime scene photos. Maybe because people know that I'm not a shitbag and Lana doesn't play games.
No, these are creators these are creators that are known for Delphi, okay? And Fig is known for that. What I want to go back to here, what I was saying is, I don't know if I would reach out to Nikki. I'd probably reach out to Ellie, but why aren't we, if it's such a big deal and we're faulting Mitch Westerman, which we should, I'm not saying we shouldn't, why weren't these leaks looked at to see where these emails came from? Why was it Nick McLeland, instead of saying delete this, saying, I'm going to send somebody over, I need you to do XYZ to find out where these emails originated from? Go to that source, hold that source in contempt of court, hold that source's feet to the fire so this crap doesn't happen. But no, everyone was told to delete it. And some YouTubers did, and some YouTubers didn't. So you went to the prosecutor told you delete because he's not into like figuring out who has a leak. It's not important. That's what this tells me. And if it doesn't tell anybody else that, then you guys are blind, because that is something that everyone should be fighting for here, is the transparency to see what happened to these girls and that doesn't happen again. And everyone who wants to be a vulture or a pariah gets dealt with accordingly.
I think it's interesting that he thinks that he was adhering to legal and ethical standards.
That's what I'm saying.
But he wasn't. Why his legal and ethical standards? Upon receiving unsolicited, so he received unsolicited crime scene photos. So listen to that. Do you know what unsolicited means? That means somebody emailed you
without you asking,
without you even, like, to your knowledge of having any communication with this person, that they just sent you crime scene photos. And what he is saying, that upon receiving unsolicited crime scene photos, he immediately contacted. Well, guess what? That's going to give the digital evidence metadata is going to be able to tell if that's accurate or not. What you did after you got those.
100%. And also there's talks.
This is why I would never fucking talk about this shit. I would never get my shit caught up in this. I would never have wrote this letter. I think this letter is going to come back and bite him in the ass personally.
Well, I think that what you're holding in your pretty little hands is going to bite him in the ass a little bit more. But yeah.
Because none of that was necessary. Nobody in this letter is saying that Fig solves.
I think he saw the other names there, hon. I think he saw the other names and he got nervous.
And he was worried about what the fuck they had turned over.
And what they're going to, yes.
And what they're going to turn over.
And also not that, but they also list things. And he probably knows exactly what those things are. He probably went through all of his stuff and he's like counting 4 of these, 7 of these, 2 of these. You know what I mean? And he knows who he sent them to, who knows who his little leak is, and it's probably someone he had breaking up with.
The claims suggesting that I have conspired with law enforcement, there are no claims of that. That's in your little delusional head, because that's not here. There's no one saying that he's conspired with law enforcement. Where is that? You contacting law enforcement does not, Hennessy doesn't say you colluded, you conspired with law enforcement. No, he's saying we have you in communication. Now, whatever those communications say, we're going to use, but those would be your own words. But nobody out there is saying, only you are saying that you didn't. The claims suggesting, who is suggesting? The claims suggesting. What the fuck are you talking about? I have it right here. Right here. Defense has a reason to subpoena him now. Well, defense already did. They already had him, but there is nothing in here that says that he was conspiring with law enforcement.
I think that it's kind of an interesting thing that he's accusing them of diversion, of the defense of diversion tactics, but yet here he is using the tactics he's accusing others of.
My online interactions, especially those on YouTube, have been misrepresented by individuals who have targeted me due to my support for Indiana prosecutor. This is you licking the ass and rim of Gull. What does this have to, what are you talking about? The claims suggesting that I have conspired with law enforcement are unfounded. Where is that? Because that's not in here. We got some exhibits that mention your name. Next. Following the advice, I lead the photos. The action was out of respect for the legal process and in no way indicates collusion with the prosecution. Well, you don't actually know that's obstruction of justice and could be deleting of evidence. So no, you don't even know what the protocol would be like with Nick McLeland getting that and telling you to delete it. Was that, you were, hey, for you to just say, hey, I was just doing what I was told by a law, enforcement agency. Okay, but to say and in no way indicates collusion with the prosecution, you're just adding that because that's what's in your head right now, that you colluded with them. Because that's in no documentation that I have in this paperwork.
No, but also wouldn't that just be one or maybe two emails going back and forth? Hey, I got this stuff, Nikki. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that's not collusion. I wouldn't even be saying that.
Would that have
but then this next little point here, I wish to address specific points, okay, that are in your own head. The claims suggesting that I have conspired with law enforcement are unfounded. Who's claiming that? YouTubers? Then take that up with them.
Here you go. Read number 22.
Number 22. October 22, 2022, YouTube video of Gary discussing his knowledge of a bullet at crime scene and knowledge that a gun was found at Rick Allen's house when that information was still under seal and a week before unsealed. So they're just repeating what he said on his YouTube channel.
Right. Like they're saying, how did you get this?
They're just repeating. They did not say that he colluded with anybody. They're just telling you about your October 22nd, 2022 YouTube presentation where the information that you put out and what you were discussing is you discussed your knowledge of a bullet at a crime scene and knowledge that a gun was found at Rick Allen's house before when that information was still under seal and a week before unsealed. They didn't say that you got that from the prosecution. They didn't say that you got that from the police. They're just saying you had it because you said it and we're using that as an exhibit to find out where it came from, honey. Boo-boo child. You just totally jumped the gun and almost in a way I feel like you're calling yourself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really sad because I cannot stress this enough. Everybody needs to remain silent whenever they are met with law enforcement. Well, because anything that you say can and will be used. They ain't coming to you because they're your friend. They're coming to you because of accusations, right?
But listen, this goes back to what we were talking about yesterday.
Or if you're a witness, they're coming to you because they want the information that you have. Either way, you need to shut up and have one story that comes out on, and if it should ever come out, is in testimony.
I just want to say what we were talking about yesterday. If you have a mic in front of you and you have a platform, you have a very big responsibility. And we as content creators are given a lot of information that could potentially, it's not responsible to put everything out that you get.
I do my own investigation.
And so when
you won't find me in any.
So my point is when Fig gets, if Fig gets this stuff and he does that live and it's before and he knows that there's a seal, okay, it's not ethical to put that out. These are two. Even if you think Rick Allen is 100% guilty, you're pro-prosecution, just let it take its course the way it's supposed to, because then you can be responsible for letting Rick Allen out because you effed up.
I think it would be in some type of way obstruction of justice.
Oh my God, is my mod in?
Deleting anything is obstruction of
Libra,
justice.
I just see your name.
There are some people who have actively inserted themselves in this entire process. Absolutely.
There's my girl.
Absolutely, they have.
And she lives in very close proximity. I won't say where, I guess. But yeah, so
So how about this then? Then his next point, because he says, I wish to address specific points. Okay. And the third one here. The allegations regarding my interactions with certain individuals online have been significantly Nobody has represented fucking anything in this. There's nobody representing anything. These are such bullet statements. You guys, look at these exhibits. Exhibit 1, okay, communications between Gary Busey and Prosecutor McClelland. That's it. It does not say what the fuck it's about. Number 2, communications from Gary Busey about Prosecutor McClelland. Number 3, Anthony Greeno's YouTube episode titled Crime Nation.
We'll do 11.
11. Gary Busey sending defense work product to McClelland.
Listen, Fig, if you want to defend yourself,
so wait, so then we want to go to, this is, so number 11, this is where, let's look back at here. So go back, leave that for a second. Allegations regarding my interactions with certain individuals online have been significantly misrepresented and possibly altered by the accusers or their associates. I wish to clarify that any of my actions which have been incorrectly interpreted as factual by witnesses, how would you know what the fuck any of these witnesses would have claimed in their depositions? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
like just because, okay, if I turn over, let's say, all of my chat history with somebody, do you guys know that when you're chatting with a bunch of people in a group, I enter in the chat, there could have been 160 messages head back and forth, right? And then I just write something. They're going to take the metadata to see when I entered the chat, okay? And if in fact I scrolled up to even view any of that shit, then they're going to, because I've had my fair share of dealing actually with exactly this.
Not with an investigation.
Fuck no, I don't.
That is a murder investigation.
This is me using evidence to prove X, Y, and Z.
It's just about your life, about your life, where people have inserted themselves into your life.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
but it's to show that, fuck, I had a mod chat. I couldn't tell you half of the shit. Fuck, I'm live, and there's messages for 3 hours being talked about. And if y'all think I ever scrolled up and read any of that motherfucking shit, then you don't know who the fuck I am.
Lana doesn't, even on one-on-one conversations,
never.
She doesn't scroll up.
So I hate to say this, but I don't give a fuck about whatever is going on in your life. I hate to say that, but I think it's because it's your life, or whatever it is that you're talking about. If you want to tell me something, you will find a way to say, hey, Lana, I really need to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. If you're gossiping or saying whatever it is, I'm sorry, but I'm just not like, and maybe that comes across as, geez, Lana, you're just so cold-hearted that you don't give a fuck. No, dude, I'm doing like a million things. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. And you'd have to prove that I actually saw any of that shit, okay? But that's also why I don't fucking do, and I tried to preach this to everybody the past year and a half, not to get involved with group chats, a Facebook Messenger app with people that you don't know. They can just say whatever name that they want that they are, but then you over here have your whole, life, and it's really like your Facebook account. They're not using some troll account, or you're not using some troll account, but they are. Protect yourself. You don't know who the fuck's behind that screen, and it ain't worth it.
Yeah, and nobody, like, when you're dealing with people who are online, they can pretend to be your friend to get information. And maybe it's a two-way street. Maybe Fig was trying to get info, and then they were trying to get info, and then something went bad. But I think something went off the rails here. So it is what it is at this point. We're going to have to wait to see the evidence.
Well, I just would have never wrote this letter. And if you're ever in this situation, I'm telling you, I don't think that you should be writing letters like this.
Yeah.
I don't, this does not help you this will never help you. If you think that Judge Gull gives a rat's about this.
I think Judge Gull's like, oh my God, poor. That's in my opinion only, you guys. I think that, Judge Gull is actually going, Nikki, you're going to have to get off the teat. You need to fix this. Have you been talking to YouTubers, Nikki?
I wish to clarify that any of my actions which have been incorrectly interpreted as factual by witnesses and actual misrepresentations of the truth of circumstances. In reality, many of my online comments. Who is talking about your online comments?
I think he saw who was on the list. I'm telling you, and he is scared. Do you understand?
Yeah, my comments in these chats where I was probably, messing with people and act like I was extorting people, but I really wasn't. Like,
listen, how many correspondences do you think Fig has with other just content creators? Just alone. A lot.
I just don't care.
A lot. So you're going to have to go through your big database of your brain, Fig, and figure out who leaked all this stuff. The best thing is don't get yourself this deep and involved and mess with a gag where there's 2 victims that are 13 that should be 20 right now and are no longer with us. 7 years.
Well, how about this? I'm going to go out and I'm just going to say this because I can. You guys call yourself sleuths. You guys got played. Anybody that was sent those crime scene photos, you guys got played like a bunch of fiddles.
Well, no, because if you sent them and you didn't participate.
This is why. Okay? Because everything that's surrounding all of that, the objective was to get Richard Allen's, I don't care what anybody says, to get Richard Allen's attorneys no longer representing him.
Yes.
And so people use y'all like a bunch of fucking fucks. And that's the truth. And so if you want to call yourself a sleuth and did you ever take a step back and say, why was I sent this?
Why was I sent this?
Why was I sent this?
Why was I contacted?
If it is actual photos, wouldn't you ever ask yourself, if you're such a sleuth and you think that you're a good detective and you think that you know the game, wouldn't you say to yourself and your team, hey, let's take a step back here. This was sent my way. Why was this sent to me?
So can we play that game then? So I send you anonymously through an email, semi-anonymously. It looks like a legit email. You can look my email up. It looks like it belongs to a person that I signed the name under. And I say, I have these crime scene photos. What do you say to me? And I actually show you a couple of them. What do you say?
And the first thing that I would do is
let's say it's for Idaho 4.
Yeah, the first thing I do is I take a look at the email address and I run everything that I can.
Okay, and it comes back
to see whose email address it truly belongs to.
And it comes back to the person and I signed my name and my name matches what you just, it's verified.
Okay, well, so then I'm going to look you up.
Okay.
And I'm going to know everything about you.
Okay. And everything you've asked me, it comes back as totally
No, I haven't asked you anything.
Oh, because you haven't? Okay.
Hell no.
Okay, go ahead.
I would not talk to you. I would do all my due diligence to know who the hell sent me this.
Okay.
As much as I could, to the point that, then I could use maybe some social media sites to
vet me.
To vet you even a little bit more. Vet your family.
Yeah.
See who truly is behind sending me that and where they're known as, okay, what do they do? Like, are they in these Facebook groups? They have a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like what do they do for a living?
Sure.
What would be their, how do I think they got this? I'm not going to ask them.
You're not asking.
I'm not asking them how you got this. I'm going to say, how do I think they got this? Who is it that could possibly, because let's be honest, crime scene photos can only come from one place.
Okay.
If they're actual crime scene photos,
if they're
right?
Legit.
If they're legitimate crime scene photos, it comes from the discovery. And the discovery has 2 sides, okay? Eventually, the discovery gets tossed over to the defense at some point. But before it gets tossed over to the defense, the discovery is in the hands of one person only, and that's the state.
Law enforcement also has access to those crime scene photos.
You have to physically go there to the evidence locker, sign this stuff out, say you're going to work on this, if you're truly being on the up and up.
So come on, role play with me. Let's go. Next, what do? You've looked me up.
I asked to interview you on camera.
I'm just a 35-year-old. From maybe Pullman.
I asked to interview you
from
on
Pullman,
camera.
Washington. And I tell you, I'm really scared. There's a lot of corruption
Mm-hmm.
I'm really scared. I don't want to go on camera.
Well, then who do you know in law enforcement?
Are you asking me how I got these photos?
I'm asking you who you know in law enforcement.
Well, my dad's a police officer.
For what agency? Like
he works for Moscow.
Okay. How's your relationship with your dad?
I love my dad so much, and I'm really worried about him. I think that these photos need to be out there. At least I'm not even out there. I need you to see these photos so you understand what happened, because I need the truth out there.
Well, then why don't you take them somewhere?
But that's what I'm doing. I'm taking them to you.
But why to me?
Because you know this case inside and out.
But you clearly know this case inside and out. You have crime scene photos.
I can't get the traction on this. The truth needs to be out there. What am I going to do?
So you basically want to use my platform?
No, well,
because I have a strong reach.
Yes, but also it'll get traced back to me, and I can't have my dad on the line. I love him so much.
So you're saying you got these from your dad? Why is your dad on the line?
I absolutely did.
So you got these from your dad?
Well, my dad had them at the house.
So your dad just talks to you over the dinner table?
No, not at all.
About a case?
Not at all. My dad's been very worried about this case.
Mm-hmm. How long has your dad been in law enforcement?
Gosh, I'm 35, so way before, I would say like 29 years.
You do know that there's a gag order right now, right? That means that what you are in possession of, your dad just broke a gag order.
Well, he doesn't know I have these, and he'd be really upset.
So then why would you do that?
Because the truth is more important at this point. They're covering stuff up.
So your dad's involved with covering stuff up?
No, my dad just is
so
one person.
So your dad knows that you have what you have?
No, he doesn't. Okay. And I don't want him to. I have to be very careful.
So that tells me that you just stole from your dad.
I did. But it's for the common good.
I would tell you to go piss up a tree.
But now you have some of the photos. You're not interested in more?
Interested in more? No, I'm not interested in anything you have.
So then you just stop.
I think you have daddy issues.
So then with my daddy issues, then you stop talking to me.
I think that you have daddy issues.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think there are YouTubers out there that are that ethical. And I know they're not.
Actually, like I don't see how I ethical. I just told the girl to go basically pound salt. She has daddy issues.
Well, whatever I don't know.
I know she's about to go kill herself after my conversation.
That's horrible. Don't say that.
No, I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is,
I would say that I feel like you're using, like I called you out. Like,
yes, but listen, if someone gives you a justification and you're a YouTuber and they give you this justification, and now you guys, I'm doing this to play devil's advocate. Doesn't mean I believe in this. If you know me at all, you would know this is not a stance that I would ever take. I'm just trying to play a role to show how this could potentially happen.
And I could just tell you how people don't ask any questions, though. People are just like, they read something and yes, send me what you got.
Exactly. I literally, what I'm doing is playing to somebody who has a little bit of empathy, not just some scumbag, who will just take the pictures I give. Little bit of empathy. I'm giving that person a little bit of leeway to have a justification to then tell their audience, listen, I know there's a gag order, but this is in pursuit of justice.
And then I would do my own investigation on your dad and you, just so you know.
But I don't mind.
I wouldn't respond to you right away. Also,
I mean, I'm not trying to get you to respond to me.
No, I'm just telling people like you respond. I'm not no knee-jerk reaction. Like, oh my god, this person has something. Oh my god.
But what I would like, I'm trying to do this not for you. This exercise, it's to show the audience what, as a content creator, we get. Okay, we get these things, and just because we don't pull the trigger and show everybody. It doesn't mean we haven't seen things.
My devil's advocate way also then is, guys, there's always a second way to get something. There's always another way.
It's not even about getting it. It's the ethical, in my opinion, for me, it's the ethical implications of having something and putting it out there to more people. Were it not for me being a content creator, I may not have this information.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. I still want to talk about Rick Snake going on tour day crime scene. Like, he went on these YouTube channels to say that I have this. Like, I mean, how fucking stupid can you be? Like, that's just stupidity, man. You are in possession of something that, without a doubt, is against a gag order. Like, if you think that I would ever hit up Steve Gonsalves and say, hey, I want you to give me stuff that's against the gag order in the Idaho 4 case, y'all have serious issues. I want nothing to do with any of that shit. Like, absolutely not. So, and I'm just only comparing it to that case because a lot of you guys have followed me in that case. I think that I've brought more to anybody, and I've done it on the up and up with everything that I've done. Because if you have brains, I think that that's what you do. But there are people if you lack maybe common sense with brains, I think that you're going to struggle, and I think that you would fall into that fucking category.
Listen, it's not a mystery to everyone listening to the sound of my voice here that there are YouTubers who constantly just want content and money, right? So if they're given this content and it's crime scene photos without even vetting to know if it's right, altered, anything, they will go on and put it on, okay? And that to me is...
But wouldn't that be their source? Like, couldn't they defend their source? See,
I don't care. Are you talking legal? Are you talking legal or ethical?
No, I'm talking about, we watched the Boston Strangler last night.
Yes, we did. We watched the Boston Strangler last night.
And
Boston, I just can't with Boston. I love it so much there. Okay, go on.
And so something that, you have these reporters, right?
Yeah, investigative journalists
that
women.
Had relationships with, detectives.
Law enforcement, yeah.
100. And from these, you're trying, hey, what can you give me? Hey, we're trying to, see if these
are connected.
But I'm going to tell you something. My opinion on Boston Strangler is those were all not committed by the same motherfucking person at all.
I think that's the common consensus, yes.
And that somebody obviously, hey, I can get away with murder basically if I know the calling card of how.
Yeah, know the MO, the calling card, and everything.
And then, so think about this. That's where I think it's a situation where, that stuff, you guys, that stuff cannot get leaked.
Right.
Because that's how somebody could go out there and commit a murder, make it look like that, right? And boom, someone just got away with murder and has, we're blaming the Boston Strangler over here. But
listen, there are reasons there are gag orders, right?
Hold on. My whole point was about it, though, is at my source.
Yes.
So we have these laws.
Yeah.
Where I could ride and die on my sword of I'm not giving up my source.
Yeah. So
how is that going to play into this, where if all of these people that are on, well, I guess these people are just idiots because they went ahead and put stuff in writing and did things that they probably got their hands on with metadata. But
well, we're talking about posts. You see that,
yeah,
right?
We're also talking about like
community
posts. I'm not going to give up my source.
Sure. I think that that will definitely, I think there's probably case precedent set already in that. But yes, of course, there'll be things that come up for discussion. And this is what good trial attorneys are for, like litigators are for, to fight these battles. But
I think this is the same that what's his name did in Colorado.
Who?
Mike King inserted himself.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, this is the same. Yes. Listen, I love what Mike King does, but I am furious when any YouTuber or anybody, I don't even care.
No, but I feel like he felt entitled that he wasn't a YouTuber and that he was ex-law enforcement and that therefore he could do X, Y, and Z, like because he's better than someone like me.
If you guys don't know,
and you're not.
If you guys don't know,
anybody's better than anybody.
Also, yesterday, an article got dropped.
I'm one of the best researchers out there. Just because you're a lawyer.
Can you explain what this is also from, so that they get it? They get what that means, because a lot of people might not know.
Mike King involved himself in the Barry Morphew case and royally fucked that case completely up.
Well, yes, he had the DA Linda on,
but I don't even want to get into that.
But anyways, what happened, how it fucked it up, excuse my language, is it got, because of what he did on his channel, the trial had to get moved.
Yeah.
From one county to another. Yeah. And they specifically cited his YouTube channel as being the reason for that.
Fuck yeah, loved every second of it. Read the article yesterday.
Oh, but that was also before, but now another article just got dropped yesterday.
It's going to blow up.
That talks about it again and brings up how...
And he thinks Richard Allen's guilty as fuck. And I'm over here like, what in the world are you talking about? Go listen to Mike King talk about the 10 reasons he thinks Richard Allen's guilty. And I'm like, were you really a fucking detective? Because I think that all your cases should get pulled out of the fucking drawer and taken a look at.
Well,
that's how I feel.
The thing that I'm concerned about is having a DA, because this is about the DA being on his channel, okay? This is why this happened, is because he had the DA on his channel, Linda. So my problem with this is a DA who is so loose-lipped and will go on YouTube channels, and that messes with the integrity of a case. You guys have to remember something. We forget a lot of times in true crime because we're dealing with this, and sometimes we have a sick sense of humor. I have a sick sense of humor, a very dark humor. But again,
I have a sick sense of humor.
But people are murdered. You guys, while I'm trying to say something, I can't laugh about it. I'm so upset with you. But listen, somebody is missing. At least one person has lost their life, right? So the duty of care that you would want anybody to have if that was somebody that you loved and cared for needs to be extended to everybody. And when you have a microphone in front of you, you have a very big responsibility, okay? And that's where I'll die on that.
So going back to all of this, I'm sorry, but this is absolutely absurd. And basically what has transpired here, and I will be the first one to say it, I have no problem saying it. Your boy, Big Solves, Gary Busey, he basically threw all y'all motherfuckers under the bus, and he put together a Google Drive folder.
He can't throw anybody
over the weekend to show all of these communications with all y'all.
Now,
and we're talking about which display their physical threats. Who are threatening people physically? Physical harm about what and how?
Well, no, okay.
How does that even happen?
You guys, when I first got to YouTube,
give me that or I'm gonna come beat your ass.
And I first covered Delphi, I was told by the channel I was on that Delphi is a crazy place. Everyone who knows about this, say so in the comments. Delphi on YouTube is insane. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. No, it is.
The only thing that I feel like it was insane about is if I ever talked that family could be involved in some type of way. That's when I saw the crazies. But
you haven't gotten to where I guess they start doxing and like trying to get information on creators who go against their narrative. Like it's like some crazy, like, basically identity politics.
How about this? Their willingness to alter or create communications and pass them off is authentic. And it will become obvious what the truth is. What's the truth?
Well, we need to see, right?
What's the truth of you? What's going to become obvious? Because nothing. What's obvious to these investigators? These investigators, which if the FBI did those interviews with Brad Holder and with Patrick Westphal, that means the FBI has their own copy. The FBI would not just give you only the copy.
Oh, I'll say if my mod is still in chat, let us know about that, Libra. Does the FBI have a copy? Now, Libra goes to every trial.
I believe 100% the FBI has a copy of this.
I don't know. But do you want to talk about this drop I did today on my CP? Because I think that's kind of also goes back to our live yesterday of what I was saying. And there it is. If everyone needed proof, it's in my CP, but we could drop it here as well for those who haven't seen it.
You guys, that many of those individuals who claim to be witnesses actually were in communication with the defense.
So he's undermining the defense's witness list, like basically being like, they're gonna get perjury, impeachment charges.
Evidence is provided.
Impeachment.
I am prepared to provide further evidence and clarification as needed. Clarification about what? Clarification about what? That you guys all talk in some, forums about a case, and that some mentally unstable person sent you crime scene photos. Is that what the fuck are you all talking about, man? I continuously updating the folder with more and more proof as time permits. That means this is a Google Drive that is continuously being updated.
Yes.
And that means that Gull has free reign at this. And I'm sorry, but did you know that a judge is not supposed to have access to a whole bunch of shit?
What do you mean?
No, that's like a thing. Like,
they better fix it now.
like, okay, like a judge isn't supposed to go and Google you. A judge isn't supposed to go and Google witnesses. A judge isn't supposed to, like, they're supposed to be unbiased. They're supposed to not know
100%. Yes.
things.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yes.
So this
Ethically. Sure.
This right here, this to me, I would love a lawyer's input on this.
Well, apparently,
with the tribunal having access to this,
in my opinion,
before the contempt hearing that features all of these people, that to me is absolutely absurd.
1 week.
Because that's not the blindfold lady of justice in her scales. This is the tribunal 100% being affected, like in how she would view this, for her to judge the contempt hearing. And so I'm wondering if you need to get a different judge for this contempt hearing, because with what he just said in his last 2 paragraphs, that below is a link to a Google Drive folder compiled to document the behaviors of certain individuals mentioned in the witness list. You've got to be kidding me right now.
Do you think he's CC?
Which displays their physical threats. Bitch, did you go to the police?
Did he CC everybody? Did he CC Rossi and Baldwin and Nikki?
Were you complaining about physical threats before or just now? Shit. I'll arm wrestle anybody with my brains. Their willingness to alter or create communications and pass them off as authentic. How scary is that? Yeah.
Well,
and it will become obvious what the truth is. Nothing becomes obvious to any of these people in that area. They couldn't detect themselves through a cardboard box, in my opinion. And whether that's because they're corrupt or they're just inept mentally, I don't know. I'm not here. That's not. I just know that they can't cut it. They're not good at their job. But I think that the judge being informed and having access to all of this material is 100%, I believe,
prejudicial.
I believe it's prejudicial.
Oh my God! Cheers to prejudicial.
And I think that they're gonna have. I think that there's a huge argument for that. You know,
I just did a cheers.
It's kind of like Vanessa Walsh contacting the magistrate in my case, you know, with her and all the ex parte communication she was sending.
That she lied about?
Yeah.
I'm so scared, but then in the background, she's telling everybody that she doesn't
lawyer
care.
Was sending, I mean, it's wild.
Well, listen.
You know what the best part was when the judge said, well, you're going to have to come with more than just Lana eating a pickle and drinking a beer on a live broadcast.
You're such a threat with that pickle.
Threatening person.
You're such a threat, Elo. But listen, this case has been so effed up.
Here, can I use that? I'm going to put this down here. So anyways,
I'll do this, and then you want to read this. Look at all my pretty, you guys haven't seen. Oh, maybe they have. Yeah, I did this.
I just love bullshit in the middle of the day.
Bullshitting in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I have so much work to do, and I'm over here bullshitting about this damn case. But order granting leave to protect or proceed, ex parte and on a sealed record with regard to applications for cost of representation, including expert fees and expenses. Remember, the defense is asking for certain things, okay? And comes now, defendant by counsel upon motion of defendant for leave to proceed ex parte with regard to any applications for public funding for cost of representation, including expert fees and expenses. And all of this stuff will be granted. If it is not granted, again, total grounds for an appeal. Richard Allen has the right to competent defense and defense strategy, and this is all those things. So the court, having examined same and being duly advised in now finds that the same should be granted with regard to all requests for fundings. Thank you. Otherwise, I mean, that's just automatic. That's an automatic appeal. Counsel for defendant shall be allowed to file written motions for such assistance without serving a copy, to the prosecutor.
Do you guys see that? I had to highlight it because, I mean, this, and let me remind you guys, this was December 12th, 2022. This is not the first time that Nick McLeland has been told ex parte is not for his eyes. So, okay,
Yeah.
Lana.
All such mentions shall bear the following. So basically, they're to be placed under seal, and the clerk shall ensure that these filings are not accessible to the prosecutor.
So let me just explain this to you guys. The clerk, who we will see the signature of the clerk below, I mean, in the last page, the clerk, it's kind of unprecedented. It's not normally this way, where a clerk has to keep a separate folder going of ex parte communications that are for the clerk's eyes only, or, also like if there's a person that's doing like the court reporting who goes in, but yes, not for law enforcement, not for the prosecution. And go on, Elo, tell us about what this clerk needs to do.
This clerk needs to get their head out of their ass. The court reporter will take down the proceeding, but any transcript shall be made available only to defense counsel and the court until further order of the court. And so basically, this was just a reminder that, hey, ex parte communication is not to be seen, by anybody else except for Judge Gull and Richard Allen's defense, Richard Allen. So the original transcript shall be placed under seal in a separate envelope marked with the date. So Judge Gull is literally walking this clerk step by step to make sure that this is adhered to.
And not just the clerk, just putting everybody on notice that this is how it's going to proceed.
Yeah, like what we do with our fourth graders.
Yes. Go on, tell us.
The clerk shall not permit any person other than the court and counsel for defendant to examine such motions, orders, and transcripts regarding such applications for funds. These motions shall be segregated from the remainder of the file in the case.
Segregated. Do you guys understand this?
Like the bus back in the day,
So this is supposed to be a separate file that the clerk keeps.
What's that?
All
those docs move back to the back.
I didn't even know there was a song for that. That's horrible. I didn't know there was
Miss
a song.
Jackson. Ooh,
Oh.
What?
Well, no, I mean, yeah.
Oh my God, I want to press charges on myself for sexual assault and harassment for constantly touching myself. I can't help. I am a 10.
Who's saying this?
Dale Jackson wants everybody to know that Dale Jackson is a 10 and he wants to charge himself with sexual assault. Somebody give that man attention.
Are we?
Somebody
I'm so confused.
Where is Dale Jackson's?
Is Dale normal?
Other?
Is
Where's
Dale
your family?
normally?
Where are your parents?
Okay, let's go on.
I just love putting people on blast like that when they want
attention.
There you go.
Okay, let's go. Keep it going.
Now you're probably going to be on the Delphi perv list. Way to go, buddy.
Hopefully you're over the age of consent. Okay, let's go on with this, please, because I don't need Dale to talk about himself when we're talking about these
toss him
emotions.
Toss
okay,
him.
no, come on. Let's go.
Mods toss Dale.
Okay, but let's go with this.
Dale.
So you guys, do you see this?
Dale, you can come back as another alt.
Okay, so the clerk shall not permit any persons other than the court and counsel for defendant, am I on the screen, to examine such, oh, you already did this.
1970, love you too.
Do you want to read it?
Dale Jackson says, I'm from Cleveland, don't boot me. Well, guess what? We throw beer bottles. We don't touch ourselves from Cleveland, okay? We throw beer bottles.
Well, maybe you read it. Maybe you read it in the middle of something, and maybe he meant something else. Maybe he was responding. Just leave him alone for a minute. But can we get back to this?
We'll go back.
Okay. The clerk. Listen, you guys. The clerk, the sheriff, and any deputies from his office, the court reporter, and the Carroll County Public Defender Agency, and any agents are hereby restrained under penalty of contempt from disclosing to anyone the nature of any motion or order relating thereto, any testimony or colloquy adduciated or adducted, I don't even know anymore, at any hearing on such motions, the text of any transcript or any other information disclosed in such proceedings. So you guys, this is letting everybody understand this is a no-no. So when Lana was telling us, Nick said, well, I've been looking at the others and I got to see other ex parte. I don't give an F, Nick, okay? I don't give an F what your excuse is. You're not allowed to. And here we have, this is signed. You can read the rest later or go to my CP and look at it.
Julie Williams, welcome to
Jody, the game. JW, and on this day, okay, so Jody Williams, she is paid well over $72,000 annually for her job.
$72,000. She got 9 to 5. She making overtime? What's she got on that overtime?
What is Nick giving you on that overtime? That's my opinion only. Sorry. Jody, this is not okay. And if you
is it Jody or Julie?
Jody. This is all public information. This is Jody. Jody, this isn't okay.
So we're pulling up a document dated December 12th, 2022 to remind everybody that this was an order from Gull back in December.
That's Gull's signature right there.
Okay, back in December. Okay, so
no, back in December 2022.
I know, back in December. I just said
not even 2023.
Okay, so little Nicky boy, he's a liar, and this is how we come. We come with facts, snapbacks, and facts.
This is what I was telling you guys yesterday. You know, because this is nothing that an attorney at Nick's caliber, for lack of a better term, wouldn't know. He knows, and the defense is never, I've done it before, thought I could do it again. No, Nick, that is entitlement. That is what got this county in trouble. Stop it, knock it off, get your stuff into gear, because 2 little girls, which aren't you related to one of them?
Okay,
were butchered.
We know, so we'll see if they do anything about it. We can remind them about that. We just did. Moving on. So Nick. Nick has a trial date. Nick has never done a murder case ever in his existence, and we're gonna be rounding this out to keep. Wait.
Can we tell everybody? Okay, so you said 8:30. Did you tell them the time? 8:30 a.m. You guys, May 13th is when the trial is set for. 8:30 a.m. Okay. And then also, just to let you guys know, another thing that dropped, it was in my members only. I shared it with my members. I'll just tell you guys about it. That when Hennessy put in a try to get an extension for the discovery deadline, all he wanted was a week extension. Well, Gull came back and said, I am denying this without a hearing. So no hearing, denied, but don't worry about it. Hennessy with his big balls and his nice pimp hat. Which one? This?
Yeah,
this is annoying. That's not anything. I have to find the denial. You have it?
Probably. Who knows?
No, you probably don't.
I got so much on
here it is. You want to really share this sentence? Here you go.
Okay, thank you. We accept your apology there, and so does everybody else, because that's what we do.
Is that Dale? Can you tell me who it is that's saying stuff?
Yeah, Dale said it.
Okay.
So here we go. Just want to show everybody really quick. Attorney Hennessy's verified motion to extend discovery deadline reviewed and denied without a hearing. Boom.
Signed by Gull.
But I'm sorry, but David, he got it all in. He All's good. He handled that shit last week. All he wanted was a 1 week extension. But guys, let's talk about the big bomb here. We got court. Let's go back to that witness list. How many witnesses are we going to see? Because the defense is going to put on a defense. So the state's going to go and they're going to present their case. How many witnesses do we see the state presenting? I see a lot of law enforcement. I see that they're going to try to maybe hold off on maybe some of the law enforcement people that they bring on, because they don't want to subject themselves to getting royally killed on cross-examination. But holy shit, May 13th. We got Karen Reed, April 16th. Then we're going to go right into Delphi. This channel is literally going to be running nonstop, tick, 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 because then we're going to be in Idaho for the Moore Drake civil showdown, which basically is a small criminal case.
When are we going to Belize? I thought we were supposed to go to Belize this summer. Okay, never mind. Let's go.
Okay. So May 13th. What's the day of the week, May 13th?
Hey, Google, what day of the week is May 13th?
May 13th falls on a Monday.
Woo! There you have it. Monday, May 13th.
8:30 a.m., you guys.
Gull's on a tight ship. Now, will this be broadcast? Is there going to be cameras in the courtroom?
Well, I know she just nixnayed the 18th, so I don't know. Will she have pressure to broadcast?
Pressure to do what?
Broadcast on the 13th.
If she does this in secrecy.
What do you mean in secrecy?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, what? What, Miss Hetty?
I just feel like if she doesn't, you would show this if you felt confident in the case. So I think that if they don't show it and live stream it and don't allow that, then I think that's going to tell me a lot with where they see this verdict going, which is going to be pro defense.
Well, can we just say that in a corrupt case, as corrupt as this, transparency is paramount? And that's what everyone's been screaming from the top of their lungs about Delphi. From the beginning, this was unprecedented.
So wait, no, I asked you a question. What do you think?
About which one? What was
Is it going to be shown?
No.
Answer the question.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Do you think that's because I need that list?
I think it's because Gull wants to have brass balls. Which list would you like? The original?
Okay, see, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with the way that the outcome of the case is going to be.
Well, you understand that you guys, Indiana need.
Here we go.
This. I'm not
all right, so I'm going to throw it out here right now. I believe that the state is going to put on a case that's going to take them into. Remember, this is just to show that Richard Allen did this, and they're going to run through somewhere in the ballpark of 75 witnesses.
Holy, okay, I'm here for it.
75 witnesses. That's
you guys in chat, take a vote.
Over under 75 witnesses. This is just for the state.
No. They can even put in if they think it's 76.
No, that means over.
No, so but I want
my over under. My over under is 75.
Stop being so sporty about it.
Because this is how you do it. State witnesses 75. You guys think it's gonna be over that or under that?
So start a poll.
Now,
she's mad at me.
Don't I just ignore?
I know she ignores. Okay, listen. 75 is a good, but I think it's under. If I win, what am I getting?
Do you want to know how many law enforcement people are going to be taking the stand?
What do you think?
I think law enforcement's easy 30.
We're just talking about the state, though. So I think state is under
75. That's a full freaking trial. You would think, right? They have a lot. This is a 7-year investigation, 6-year investigation.
700. But listen, you got it right the first time. I think it's under 75 for the state. If you were asking about the defense, I might agree with that. For the state, I think it's going to be very, 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 very simple to LE. Now, how many LE do you think is going to be? LE also including FBI experts.
Yeah, that's part of the state's case. That's what I'm saying. Like how many? I think 30, at least 30
easy.
Law enforcement agents. And being involved in law enforcement, without a doubt, at least 30.
Yeah, I agree. And then Betsy's probably going to get called.
If I was actually pull up my
Will you have a home team advantage?
I think I have a home team advantage over here.
Well, you know what? I don't know, but I'm still going to bet and say under 75. And then if I win, I get a.
Now,
you never want to hear what I get.
When the state puts on when the state rests and the defense puts on their case, do you guys see the defense saying, asking Judge Gull to dismiss the charges based on the fact that they did not meet the burden?
I do, but I don't because I think
totally think they're going to do that.
But I think the state's going to drop their balls.
And I think this Judge Gull is probably going to mean, what do you have against the man?
No, I think that Hennessy knows Gull like the back of his hand. And I think having Hennessy, and from what I've heard from Mitchie about how Baldwin runs his law firm, I think that Baldwin will absolutely take an input from Hennessy. So I think what will happen is they might want to present a little bit of a case here, showing how the defense, showing how disgusting everything is.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to ask for it, and then I think she's going to deny it, and I think it's going to continue on, and then the defense is going to go, And so,
do you think that's going to be risky though? Wouldn't that be risky if you're the defense and you have all of this
no, it's
going
not
for
risky.
you?
No, you always try to get something dismissed if it doesn't meet the burden.
Oh, I thought you meant rest without presenting anything.
Absolutely not. They're not resting. I said they're going to motion to the courts that, based on Indiana rules of criminal procedure,
Yeah.
if the state has not met the burden of the elements of the crime, then it would be dismissed.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna move after the state rests, and then I believe that Gull is gonna say probably no. Okay, who knows? Maybe she says yes. But then we're going into the defense side, and now the question is I don't think Richard Allen takes a stand whatsoever.
I don't think he does either, and it's unfortunate. Do you think Kathy's going to take a stand? His wife.
I think that
Kathy's.
I think that if he was in a better position mentally, that he could have taken the stand. Do I think that he needs to? Absolutely not.
No.
I don't see one of these witnesses saying, "Who do you see the man that you saw on the bridge that day? Can you point to him? Is he in this room right now?" Do you see any of those witnesses pointing to the defense table?
Yes,
saying,
I do. I absolutely.
You do? Holy shit! That's a bomb drop because there is no way in hell.
No, do you not understand?
I don't see that coming.
Okay, listen to me. I tried to explain this to you the other day in the car. If you are one of these, let's say one of these 3 young girls who was on the bridge that is, their initials are named constantly over and over, and you have provided them with, I saw X, I saw Y, and then they come to you, Ellie, prosecution, whoever comes to you and says, hey, you have identified Richard Allen, and they have told you that, or you have been led to believe that. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so they are saying this to your head.
You
listen, the amount of psychological warfare that goes on in your head to now have to convince yourself that law enforcement didn't tell you the truth, that you didn't ID Richard Allen, if that is the case, and you ID'd somebody else, is that is going to mess with these girls for a long time. So absolutely, in my opinion, when they get on the stand, they are told that they have already identified Richard Allen. Okay?
That's not the question. The question is
yes, and they're going to point to him. Yes.
They were never told that they identified Richard
Allen.
In
my opinion, I think they did. They were.
Well, I cannot wait for that then. Oh, I was told I identified him. Who told you that? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Based
on your observations and the sketch we made, we were able to arrest Richard Allen.
I don't believe that they told that to anybody, anywhere, anyhow, nowhere ever was that said to anybody.
Okay. Well, you're giving a lot of credit to Delphi.
No, you're giving. These people they were tight-lipped about if somebody took a shit in a bathroom they weren't staying in. Okay, these people weren't telling anybody anything.
Well, I happen to know a couple of things.
What came out is that the order of the damn sketches were put out even in incorrect order in terms of like when they had the sketch. But in my opinion, you're saying that you think that one of those witnesses are going to be asked on the stand. Do you see the man
I don't know if they'll
you
be asked.
saw that day? Can you point him out? Is he here today?
I don't know. I do not know if they'll be asked that question, but if they are asked that question, they will absolutely point to Richard Allen, in my opinion, because they have been told they have
I'll take you on
identified.
That bet.
They have identified.
Police is on the line.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Wait, why is it when you make a bet? I'm talking about
that ain't never happening, you guys.
When
I will stop covering fucking true crime if
what?
If somebody on that witness stand is asked, do you see the man that you saw that day?
That's not the bet. The bet isn't whether they're going to be asked or not.
That's the bet.
No.
That's exactly what I just
said. Reiterated that. No, the bet is not. I don't know if they're going to be asked on the stand.
Oh, so she's changing her mind.
No, I didn't. I saw that from the beginning. Rewind the tape. What I'm saying is, if they are asked, listen carefully so you don't misconstrue it. If they are asked, do you see the person that you identified here in the courtroom today? That then they will point to Richard Allen.
Yeah, if they're asked.
If they are asked.
That's how it happens.
Okay, so we are on the same page. So it's not. I don't know if they'll be asked that though.
Based off what you said, that you thought that these people said to them, like, hey, just so you know, you went, hey, it was your sketch, and it was you saying that you saw that.
Yeah, okay.
That's I'm saying there is no way in hell that's coming out in the trial. None of those people identified Richard Allen.
No. But see, again, you're going back to if it's coming out in the trial.
I am asking that.
But that's not what I'm betting on. I'm not betting on if it's coming out in the trial. I'm betting on if it comes out in the trial.
Yeah, that's what I'm betting on.
I don't know.
No. If it comes out in the trial
yes.
and one of those witnesses are asked,
yes.
Hey, Betsy.
Yes, Betsy. Yes.
Hey, Betsy.
Okay.
You were at the trial, or you were at the trails that day.
Yes.
Were you not? Yes,
no.
I was. Okay, great. Now, you sat down with an artist and drew some.
Betsy. Okay.
You helped the what? FBI.
Poor Betsy.
Yes. Do a picture. Yes. Okay. Now,
where's my
which one of those was it? Number 1 here or number 2? That was mine over there. Number 2. Okay, great, perfect. Now, Betsy,
big guy?
Do you see the man that you saw? Minus take away your picture of that they drew their sketch.
Yeah.
Do you see the man that you saw that day in the courtroom today? And I will fall over and literally hit the floor. Never cover true crime again. If Betsy or any of those witnesses say, yes, the man that I saw is in the courtroom today. Can you point him out?
And I'm taking that bet.
And she points to Richard Allen.
They have been told that.
I will fall over, literally probably pass out in Indiana. You guys will have to,
revive you
with
no, don't revive her
because I'm not taking any drugs.
We will just be putting like the smelling salts under your nose.
Because Betsy, on cross-examination, girl, you are going down if you say that.
Listen,
on cross-examination,
sure,
you will be handed.
Well, wait, don't tell Betsy
your ass on a platter.
If Betsy's watching you now, she's not going to do it, and then I'm going to lose. Do not take your advantage. But absolutely, yes, she is going to.
I don't think any of these witnesses.
Yes, I do.
Have the back of the
I think Sarah. I think Betsy. I think Terry. I think all of these witnesses have been told that they contributed to putting Richard Allen away. My opinion.
No way in hell.
Okay, well, you don't understand.
Betsy,
Delphi.
how many times have you been to CVS to fill up your prescription, Betsy? You're telling me every time.
Oh, don't act like you're going to be the defense for this.
This is how I would handle her on the. Betsy, where do you go get your prescriptions filled now? Do you have any kids? Where do you get their prescriptions?
I'm not going to go down this hole with
you.
How many
times have you been to CVS in Delphi? Okay.
But I will win.
How many times have you been? Well, we pulled your banking statements, and we see that you are always in CVS buying condoms.
Hello, what's on the line? Belief?
So you saw him.
You're paying or I'm paying?
You saw this man.
Where are we staying?
Once a month. And you never thought to yourself, holy shit.
I can't have spiders. I can't have spiders in our tent.
You guys have to understand that that's not happening. God bless Bella and her.
Oh, don't patronize me. What are you talking about?
There's no way in hell that's happening.
If it gets asked, in my opinion, it is. So we took a bet.
And then
I won all the bets.
And then the bloody muddy girl.
And I won all the bets, mind you.
You guys know the defense.
Every bet we've taken, I've won. Do you know this?
You know the defense has already been deposed these people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you think that those 3 witnesses, the 3 girls, you think that they're on the side of the prosecution?
I think that if they
get
on the stand,
I asked you think that they're like, oh yeah, when they arrested him, I knew that was that guy.
I don't think that that's what they said at all.
Okay,
I think that they've been told. I think that they've been told, and I think there's a big manipulation in their head. That I don't blame them at all.
Yeah, and so basically they were then handed, hey, here are your guys' reports, and you don't.
I don't think they were handed the reports at all.
Did you not read everything that the defense put in and said, hey, these witnesses didn't say this stuff. Betsy didn't say it was this card.
Are you kidding? Yes. Did you read what the prosecution then put?
Girl, I cannot wait for this trial now. You are so wrong when it comes to these people.
How do you know what an opinion is, though? That's crazy.
Just said you were so wrong. You can
That's
have
so
your
crazy.
opinion.
Yes, it is my opinion. It doesn't need to meet your
I
opinion.
don't think that these girls are lying. I don't think that they saw
I don't
Richard
think they're
Allen,
lying at all.
and I don't think anybody is going to point to Richard Allen.
I don't think they're lying at all. I think that what has happened is they have been told.
But if that
something.
shit happens,
And that's
I'm
that's
dead.
something that I was trying to talk to you about before, is that is something that's extremely detrimental in somebody's psyche, to be told that what they see, it is hard. You're told to trust law enforcement. You're told law enforcement is right. And when they come and they tell you,
they never told them this though. They never came to them and said, "Hey, you remember those? You remember those sketches that?"
Okay, I'm just gonna go with you. Go with your bad self. You know so much about Delphi.
I think
keep it going.
You know those sketches y'all did 6 years ago? Yep.
6 years ago.
Those sketches y'all did 6 years ago. We used. Yes, you guys were the ones. Okay. You guys, yep. And then you know that muddy and bloody shit you were talking about? I didn't say the guy was bloody. Oh, yeah, well, we put that in your report. We use that too. So make sure that you guys point to the defendant when we ask you these questions. That shit ain't happening. None of that shit's happening. I just believe that my personal opinion,
the thing that got taken down. I mean, it just happened.
The only way Richard Allen is found guilty is if you have some huge ass jackasses on the jury.
But that's two separate issues. Whether he's found guilty or whether the witnesses point to him are completely different issues.
I just said that's not happening. There is this magic bullet.
Thank God we took the bet then.
Okay. I don't think that there's anything. The three girls didn't point out muddy and bloody. Yeah, no, that was totally different.
No, it was supposedly just Sarah. And it's interesting because you're supposed
I'm just talking about all the girls.
Thing.
I'm just talking about all the girls. The girls that were at the trail, the girls that had walked past them. I'm saying
the eyewitness. You guys remember? Let's go back to this. Remember that eyewitness statements are the weakest. They've always been the weakest.
But the question is do I see the prosecution asking any witness who said that they saw Richard Allen that day and to give a sketch, remember?
They're not going to say who saw Richard. Did you see Richard Allen? They're going to be like, is the man, like you said before, go with your script.
They're not asking anybody on the witness stand that question.
Okay, your opinion.
Because nobody on the witness stand is going to say, yeah, that's him.
I don't know if they'll ask that. That's not up for debate.
That's what the question is.
No, wait. You just said that wasn't the question. You said it wasn't whether they're asking that or not. Now you're going back on it. This is how... If I win, I end up losing
I'm saying
no
we can
matter
have
what.
2 bets now.
You change it.
No, I'm saying that no witness is going to point to him. And I'm saying number 2 is I don't even believe that question is going to be asked. But if it is asked, nobody is pointing to Richard Allen.
I don't know. I don't think that question is necessarily going to be
asked. But I think
either.
that question should be asked if you're so confident in that somebody fucking saw him there that day. You see what I'm trying to say? If I'm the prosecution, I have these girls that walk by this man. No. Do you see the man in here that you saw that day?
I don't know.
You know what? It's been so long, I can't remember.
I think you would be putting something up to potentially lose. That is like a glove must fit in the OJ thing. You don't want to go down that road.
I'm saying that's what I feel like your case is not that strong, nor are your witnesses. But everybody is talking about, that's all it's the probable cause are the witnesses.
Maybe so, but yeah, the probable cause is weak. We already know that. We already know that. But that's not what you're
That's like saying, do you think that Dylan Mortensen, do you see the guy that walked past you? Is he in this courtroom right now? Do you think they're going to ask Dylan Mortensen
I don't think they'll freaking ask her that at all. Because she said she didn't get a good look. She saw bushy eyebrows. You're not gonna think about being a lawyer, Ella. That is not what you're gonna ask.
If you're the defense attorney, do you ask that?
I might ask that if I'm the defense. Absolutely, I might ask that if I'm the defense. I might 100% ask that.
I would grill her and say, well, why do you believe that? I thought that you only saw his eyebrows.
But also, you have to be very careful if you're talking about Dylan when you're the defense, because Dylan, that doesn't even matter, because Dylan, unfortunately, in my opinion, only is going to sink her ship, unfortunately, because of everything else that went into that. That's a different thing. This case, the Delphi case, I don't know if they will ask that question.
I think I would ask that question to set somebody up.
I don't care. But what I'm saying is,
I would ask
I don't know if they're going to ask that, but if they do,
maybe they could trip up Dylan by asking
I just want this bet to actually be, because every time you lose, I don't get what I win.
Well, trips to Belize, I mean, geez.
Well, now it's trips to Belize. Last time it was just something like so simple and I still didn't get it. Let's do this.
All right, you guys are great, but there you go. I can only tell you my opinion, and my opinion is that Nick has no chance to outmaneuver Baldwin and Rossi in that courtroom.
I don't think so either. I think Baldwin and Rossi, and the reason is, I don't know, even if Nick was a really great public defender, even if he was a good DA, I think the passion that Rossi and Baldy have is so amazingly palatable that there's just, I don't know, give it up for them. That's what every attorney should be like. I'm sick of seeing attorneys who just work for money and just want more money and money and money. Here are some attorneys that are about their oath and that oath they took. And it's very important, you guys.
So the state's going to be asked, okay, are you ready to proceed? Yes. Who do you call as your first witness? We call the
law enforcement.
You think?
I think it's going to be, the state's going to call a lot of law enforcement. Absolutely.
As their first witness?
First witness, foundation witnesses, yes.
Well, in that case, we call Kelsey
German
to the stand.
I think that they will call.
That's foundation Kelsey to say that she dropped off the kids.
Yes.
At that location.
100%.
And then they're going to ask her if this is her vehicle. Do you recognize a vehicle on this camera? Was that the vehicle that you drove that day? Yes. And which way were you headed after that? To Burger King to go work? Or to your boyfriend's? What? Okay. So foundational witnesses, sure. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I think that I think that Richard Allen goes home. He should go home. There's no evidence against him.
Listen,
this has been a bunch of bullshit.
The passion of attorneys.
And I think that Richard Allen should sue the fuck out of these people for violating his civil rights.
I just hope that if Richard Allen is innocent, is factually actually innocent in this, I feel that he needs to, I hope he makes it out mentally sound as he can, because nobody should be in the position that you were never treated as if you're a convict. And we've covered this. I said this yesterday as well. Look at how Brian Kohberger comes into court versus how Richard Allen comes into court. Beyond that, if you guys don't already know this, Richard Allen is kept in a correctional facility that is for convicted murderers, convicted people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's bullshit. I think that
is not what happens.
He should be able to go in there with a suit. He should be able to go in there with a button up.
He should be in a jail.
He should be in a jail.
Did you guys hear when Librato, when his attorneys were recused for however long they were, which Rossi brings up beautifully, that we were removed from this case from October 19th till January, whatever, okay? And they still want a speedy, and that's how you do it, you guys. That's how you do it when your client is innocent. Now, do you guys understand that when that attorney, Librato,
but he never waived his right to speedy trial.
Never waived it.
You understand that.
And you know the difference between somebody waiving and not, and the reasons you do and the strategic reasons you don't. So listen, so when Librato said, we went to this correctional institution to see him, it was 4 hours away. It was a trek to get there. And when we wanted to show him videos and we wanted to give him documents, he had to do it through the little door of where they give meals to inmates, because they do not have a place for visitation. Okay? Not even for your attorney and your privileged attorney meetings. And he goes, I know he couldn't see when we were trying to show him videos. This man has not been convicted yet, you guys. This is us being barbaric. Our Constitution doesn't meet these standards that they are implying on Richard Allen. Let's say he is Cannibal Lecter. Let's say he and him alone did this to Abby and Libby. Prove it the right way. Do it the right way. The man is 5'6" right now, weighs 130 to 140 pounds. Why are we doing this in our country, which we look at ourselves as non-barbaric? We look at ourselves as not a third world country. We look at ourselves as having these rights, and we do. Because if any of you have ever lived or experienced a country where we cannot have our First Amendment rights, you would know how important these rights are. and they are so important. Firsthand, I will tell you, it is so important to be able to speak what you want to without fear that your government will retaliate against you.
I would just never waive my right to a speedy trial. The prosecution, the police, they are never ready. They are not organized at all, ever. Sorry, but that's just the truth. And that's not really a dig on them in terms of being organized with everything. It's when you want to try to make a quick arrest because we meet the burden by the probable cause just by okay, we got there, we can do it through a grand jury, which is just probable cause, versus the preliminary hearing.
I mean, you're a constitutionalist.
Yeah, this is all fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is about...
That man's life will never be the same. Neither will his wife's. I mean... and I think he's factually innocent. I think he's 100% factually innocent. People can say, well, Richard Allen had something to do with it. That's why they came to him. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't agree.
If he did, we need to prove it the right way. And what we're doing now is barbaric.
If he did, then that should come out in the trial. That should come out in court as to, it would have been a little bit more believable. That's why I just love the motion that the boys put together to say, okay, this single man did this, and they did this, and they did this, and they did this, and they did that, and then they did this. And all of these things happened. And then you talk about, I believe that they were taken from that location and brought back to that location. Because I believe that
100%.
If they searched that area at all, when they said that they were searching for them, they would have found them.
Well, no. And also common sense about blood. It was
too close.
And what about blood? The
Well,
common sense of lack of blood.
The FBI already said that it was a secondary location. But then they try to cover it up by saying it was only slightly moved. You know what I mean? From being right there to being over there. No, I think I call Elvis Fields to the sand, let him seem like a little fucking canary.
Well, let's not forget Kokomo, Indiana, and what happened there when
there's a
Kagan was
Barry Morphew got bail. Barry Morphew had bail. I mean, I
personally... Would you want to read that? I can't see it. Who said it?
To the transparency. Haven't other charged murderers been released on ankle bracelets to stay home? Yeah, but there's also been, Barry Morphew was really, he made bond. He was out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's also a thing where they're saying his safety, right? So they're saying Richard Allen's safety is at risk because two 13-year-old girls were butchered, and the town now hates him regardless.
I want to ask, I want to see some phone records of when Libby's mom and Libby talked that morning.
Can you explain to everybody why? Because me and you know this, but maybe everybody doesn't understand. Why? Because they talked. Because they talked every morning, and they talked that morning, and she was very descriptive of that she was home from school and didn't have school. It was a school off day.
Yep. And it proves, in my personal opinion, it could prove the location of Abby at that time or Libby rather at that time, to say that she was home, and not something that could have occurred that weekend or the night before, in terms of when the girls went missing, if that is up for debate. Which, if you are, Richard Allen, I want to look into the fact that could those girls have snuck out at all the night before, where they said that they were spending, sleeping? Who could they have been with the night before if they had snuck out? Only because I've listened to statements said, and the girls have been known to, do some stuff. And if she was dating that kid Logan, Brad Holder's son, I don't give a fuck if Brad Holder had worked that day. he was off at 3. So, and they were going to be hanging out in the woods, meeting up with him. I just think there's going to be a lot of witnesses. This may be one of the scariest cases I've ever followed, says Heather. I just think it's important to pin down everything surrounding the drop off and everything that they did that morning and what they were doing the night before. Yeah, 100. I did it in one of my lives. The sketch by Teresa looks exactly like Logan Holder at the time. It actually also looks like the older brother. What was the older brother's name? The one that's in the military. So, I mean, I don't know what type of apps were being used on Libby's phone. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, if that would have been wiped down factory style based on the Cellbrite dump of that phone. That phone might have some stuff. So I'd have to ask a couple people that I know that are experts in that field. And you know what? I think I am going to ask them about that. That's a very good point. So, you guys, I think the window is so small. And when this happened,
of the abduction or the murder?
Of the abduction.
Yeah.
That it almost makes it look like that isn't the window.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious.
No, that's an interesting way of putting it.
Like, I would have expected that, like, okay, let me put it to you this way. Why the fuck did they even go if their dad was going to come pick them up, like, and they were only going to be there for, like, a hop, skip, and a jump for, like, 40 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, here, you guys can go. She'll drop you out. You guys can at least go for, like, 40 minutes. Think about that. Think about when Kelsey dropped off the girls, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then when he was supposed to come pick them up. I mean, that was such a small window to, like, be there to hang out.
Do you remember what it was like to be 14, wanting to see a dude?
I'm just telling you my opinion on that. On that time.
Okay.
And I would just think that if they were going there, that they would have contacted people to say that they were going there. I'm very curious to see what Max has to say. I'm really curious to see who they contacted to say that they were gonna. Once it was made that Kelsey's driving them and they're in the car, and so therefore you can say, like, I'm on my way. Like, that's what everybody says. Like, that's why I think that the Rachel Daltondo case, when Lauren says, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm here, but then she never texts Rachel Daltondo to say, oh, hey, my mom wants me to come home. I'm going to stop there really quick and then I'll be over. That's like a dead giveaway for me, that you were giving her a play-by-play and then all of a sudden you didn't with that. And that would be like the most important play-by-play, is that, hey, I got to go home. My mom's flipping out about something. Like, I'll see what the fuck she wants and then I'll be over. She never does that. So I just think that kids would give you a play-by-play, especially if you're meeting up with, like, a dude and you're excited. You'd give them a play-by-play.
Oh, yeah. Like, you'd be talking, let's say, just hypothetically, it's Anthony Shots.
Okay, listen, if I hear one more thing about Anthony Shots, I don't want to hear a damn thing about, I'm not going to answer anything about Anthony Shots.
I'm not asking you.
I don't think that Anthony Shots has anything to do with this.
No, I'm saying, let's say it's Anthony Shots. I don't want to say another name that you're meeting up with. So you're saying that you would be calling, you'd be texting Anthony and be like, I'm here.
Yeah, and I think that that person would have, they would have to drop everything that they're doing at that, point in time to then get wherever the fuck y'all are there. And I think that that's a very small window for somebody that, unless you were lying from the beginning and telling people that you're going to be there, hey, I'm going to be there. Yeah, I'm on my way. And you're really not knowing if that's ever going to happen. And so that they were already there.
I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid and I didn't have my own car and I wanted to hook up like with friends or whatever, they would be like, I'm going to be at the mall, like let's say from 2 to 4 or for like from 2 to 6. And then if I happen to be there, I went. They're already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you told them when they were going to be there, so they already had plans to be dropped off.
But maybe
when
like
you would be there.
But no, maybe I don't know, but they're already going to be there. You know what I'm trying to say?
What do you mean?
But I don't know if I'm going, but I already know that this person is already going to be like you tell me I'm going to be at the mall. We're 13. And you're like, I'm going to be at the mall today from 2 to 6. And I'm like, I'll try to get a ride for my mom. I don't know if I can, but I know you're already going to be there from 2 to 6.
So then once I found out that I was going, you don't think that I'm going to tell that person, hey, I'm on my way?
That's what I'm saying.
So I think that that's what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm sorry, but I don't think this has anything to do with Anthony Shots.
Okay. Well, with whoever, if that was supposed to happen, we will see it. That's your point, right? I'm trying to bring it home.
Yeah. My point is that this time period is so fucking small.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That we're talking about why didn't they get dropped off at the Freedom Bridge? How do they know that the people aren't there at the Freedom Bridge? Like, you would have to be known, no, my sister's going to drop me off. We always go to this spot to get dropped off because then they walk that way. Mm-hmm. If you go and you look at the timestamps of all of this shit, this happens so fucking crazy fast. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it is way more believable that, hey, Richard Allen was there because he was doing X, Y, and Z. And he was there at the tail end of when they were arriving. And then, he left and then he goes to work or he goes home or whatever the fuck the guy does. But if I'm a kid at that age and I have Instagram and I have Facebook, fuck what you did with the phones
and
Snapchat. Look at the messages that would have been sent through Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, WhatsApp, Snapchat, all of those things. But I believe that you would be telling somebody if you were in fact on your way somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like, what kid doesn't get excited if that is the fact, and to let somebody know that? And to me, that just doesn't make sense. That's not logic. And then if I only had a short period of time, that's even more of a reason that I would say, hey, my dad's coming to pick me up at this time, so I don't have that much time. So I'm only going to be here from this time to this time.
Yeah.
Okay. And so guess who the fuck would know that?
Who?
Holder's son, because Abby was dating him. So everybody thinks that Libby had the phone, but Abby was dating that dude. And so since Abby didn't have a phone, so I went ahead and I looked at social media, and Libby was friends with Holder. They were following each other. They were friends on Instagram. So therefore, like, they're communicating. Or they could have communicated. And that's what I think that would have happened if they all had off. Like, you don't think that Abby's going to be like, well, if you're going to go meet up with somebody, I want to meet, like, I'm going to tell Holder that, especially since they don't go to the same school. They're going to use that. That's when y'all hang out. You have the weekends or you have days off when you date somebody that doesn't go to your same school. That's what happens. And
jury trial scheduled for October 22nd at 9 a.m. was canceled.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why would the boyfriend of Libby, he was interviewed, right? Don't you think
think that they're in, yes.
Yeah, don't you think his phone, if he had a cell phone, it would have been looked at? I looked into Libby's boyfriend. That boy had another account. All of these people had multiple accounts.
Okay, so I just got this notice that there's like a bunch of stuff on the docket, but what actually happened is they went in and every single day that they had the court scheduled, because it was supposed to be, in October sometime, this trial, and then they asked for a speedy, and then they set it on the 15th of May. Every day after that, they're just putting in a minute order to say that they've canceled that day. So it appears, are they having a 2-week? Let me see what. Oh no, they've scheduled trial jury scheduled for 5:15, 5:14. Starting at 5:14 at 8:30, they have scheduled. Let me see when the schedule ends.
They have to have at least 6 weeks.
I don't know about that. Okay, so here we are
What?
until the 31st. Hold on, let me just go. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, so we have it until at least the 31st. So that's 2 weeks, okay? 8:30 a.m. every day. This just dropped again. So 8:30 till 8:30 a.m. until May 31st, where we have it. And then they have canceled everything in October. So starting
See, I think that's voir dire.
from the 16th, starting from the 15th of October at 9 a.m. was rescheduled to 5:13 to 8:30 a.m. by request. So they've canceled. Let me see how many days they had from the 15th until November 1st. So I guess originally they had put in for
Her mom came
2
out in an
weeks.
interview and said that she realized that Abby had social media that she didn't know that she had and things like that. So.
Wow, okay. The court having reviewed defendant's motion for early trial now grants said motion and sets this matter for jury trial May 13th through the 31st at 8:30 a.m. So that's the scheduled time slot we have, you guys, is the 13th through the 31st.
That's going way past that. Unless Nick is putting on 4 days.
I
mean,
know.
Okay, so voir dire is going to take how many days?
Voir dire on this case, I would say, if they're good at it, 2 days, 3 days.
I was going to say 3.
2-3 days, yeah.
No, they're all backwards. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be enough here for us on this. Join me for happy hour.
Lots of things dropped. Thank you, mods. Thank you,
Happy hour
members.
continues. Like literally, we're going to another thread. So let's go saddle up. We have lots to talk about.
You're doing another happy hour right now. What time is it?
It's happy hour every hour.
You guys, I cannot get used to this. It is 5 here. It literally does not feel like 5. We just sprung forward.
Oh, did we?
Mm-hmm.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation.